Hello everyone, welcome to this video, and today we're going to talk about the X-Men in the MCU. And the way I'm going to make this video is that I'm going to try to make it a fan fiction. I think we should introduce the first cast first, and we all know who they are. Cyclops, Jean Grey, Beast, Angel and Iceman, and it won't be an X-Men film without Xavier. I would like for the villain to be a Sharon. He's a character that didn't show up in the Fox X-Men movie, and that can help the MCU. It will help bring in newcomers and comic book fans alike. For a post-credit scene, we will introduce Mr. Sinister. He will be the first Thanos to the X-Men movies. Now over to the fanfiction. Xavier brings cloaking mutants from the world, but after the snap more and more mutants start popping up. That way we can keep certain origin stories intact. Senator Callis, who believes mutants is a threat, wants to create the MID, the Mutant Response Department. But the president and other senators disagree with him because they think it's wrong to arrest people before they do a crime. They tell Kenny that it's no different than racism. We hop over to the Xavier school for gifted youngsters. We're being introduced to the X-Men by Bobby. When Bobby walks into the Xavier school, he meets Scott, Jean and Hank. Xavier comes down and welcomes Bobby to his school. Bobby asks if someone can show him to his room. Scott volunteers to show Bobby to his room. There's some dialogue on the way. Later, Xavier calls everyone to a team meeting and tells them about the Savage Land and tells them there's a lurking threat there. Xavier sends the X-Men to Savage Land to find out what the threat is. Then we hop over to Senator Kelly and Warren's dad. They talk about mutants. Senator Kelly wants Warren's dad to help him deal with the mutants, and he agrees because he thinks they're just as much of a threat as Kelly say they are. But Warren doesn't tell him that his son also is a mutant. Then Warren comes in and confronts his dad, and they argue for a long time. Warren tells his dad that there is a school for mutants and he's going to join, but Warren's dad tells him that if he walks away now, he will no longer be the heir to the company. After that we hop over to the Savage Land, where we see Cyclops, Jean Grey, Iceman and Beast looking for the threat that lurks there. They find a group of Savage Land mutants and they tell them the threat they're looking for probably is Serum. After a little bit of searching, they find Serum, and a little battle ends up. Cyclops using his optic blast, Jean Grey uses her telekinesis, Beast fights him head on, and Iceman uses his ice power, but none of it seems to work. Scott realizes they can't beat him right now, so he orders a retreat. It will be the team's first loss. When they return, they go to talk to Xavier. They tell him about Serum. They also believe they weren't ready to go up against it, but then Xavier gave them an inspiring speech about standing up even if the enemy is stronger. But then Warren stands outside the X-Mansion and wants to speak to them. They go out to meet him and introduce themselves, and Warren tells them about Senator Kelly and his father. And he wants to join the X-Men. Bobby walks off from the rest of the group and Xavier follows him into the kitchen. Professor X asks him what's wrong and Bobby tells him that he's insecure about his power. He says, look at Scott, he's a proud leader, but Xavier tells him there was a time that Scott was as good as he is now. The conversation they have makes Bobby feel better about him being a mutant and his sexuality. After Xavier's talk with Bobby, he ends up meeting Warren and they talk about the fact that Scott, Jean and Bobby and Hank are kids, and Warren doesn't like that Xavier using them as child soldiers. But Xavier dismisses him, saying it is for the greater good. Then Scott calls them to the living room that he sees on the TV screen that Sharon is attacking New York. Then we hear Sharon holding a speech about how he is a mutant, and the mutant is the next step in human evolution, and they shall soon rule the world. Senator Kelly sees the message and then just smiles. Xavier tells the X-Men they have to go to New York and stop Sharon, but some of them feel like they're not ready to face him. But Scott steps up and tells they have no choice, because if they don't, who else will? So they go to New York to stop Sharon. When they reach New York, the final battle with Sauron begins. Cyclops and Iceman fire at him at the same time, but he dodges it. Jean tries to throw a car at him, but he dodges again. Angel flies right towards him, but he knocks him out of the way. Beast jump on top of him, but Sharon uses his absorbing power on him and gets stronger. Scott and Xavier realize they have to work together to stop Sharon. Xavier uses telepathic power to attack Sharon with, and it causes Sharon great pain. Scott removes his visor and uses optic blast at full force. Then Beast and Angel tackles him and start pummeling him. Sharon gets them off him and tries to fly away, but be dragged down to the ground by Jean. Then Sharon shows his cowardly nature and tries to beg for his life, claiming it all to humans' fault, that they soon will try and destroy all the mutants. Then Bobby steps up and says, "How do you know that? Can you see the future? We don't have the right to decide that humans are evil." Because he also says that there are good humans and there are bad humans. Just the same with mutants. There are good mutants and there are bad mutants. We have to try to be as good as we can to show humanity that we aren't a threat. Then Bobby unlocks his ice form and blasts Storm with his ice power and frees him completely. After that we hop forward a few days. There Senator Kelly holds a speech saying that there might be some good mutants out there, but what with the bad mutants? There may be more bad mutants than good, and from this point on we have finally formed the MID. Warren gets angry and saying that after we save New York, is this how they repay us? But then Xavier says, "We're not doing this to be repaid, we're doing this to show humanity that we aren't a threat." For a post-credit scene we see a man sitting in a chair, then he turns around and we see it's Mr. Sinister, and then he smiles evilly. And that's how I will bring the X-Men into the MCU. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comment section down below, and if you like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time!